together. And I have made the super blueprint, which I promise I'll share. If you happen to see it not shared, please, by all means, bitch at me. And that's out of date already. Alright, try this again. We need from there to there. This will be version number 4, actually. Without that random bit of pipe at the bottom. Yeah, you can tell I'm well prepared. First thing I do is I realise I fucked something up. Okay, so that's oil Mark IV. Done. Okay. Where the hell's that blueprint? Where the hell is that blueprint? No. Open up my toolbar. Oh, that's the whole blueprint book. Giga builds, N builds, nukes. There it is. Okay. So, I've done some changes. First off, lots of people told me that I had too many pumps and for an oil tanker, so that got fixed. Thanks, AutoSafe. Get out of my way. At the same time, I balanced these 3 tanks with these 3 tanks. In theory, all tanks have 75,000 oil in them. Okay, so each one of these tanks has 75,000 oil. So, in theory, this tank does this row, this tank does this row. Ignore these 2 here. This tank does this row. This one does that row, that one does that row, and that one does that row. In theory, if they all empty evenly. We know it's Factorio, we know shit doesn't work as intended, so I decided, look, they're right beside one of these. No, these 2 are already connected, so they're already balancing. If I put a pipe there and like link it this way, it means these 3 are balanced together. Automatically, it means these 3 are balanced. Yeah, this set will balance with that set. So that's what I decided. It's a couple of extra pipes. It's extra fluid dynamics. We'll see how it runs. I can always rip them out. At the same time, I decided, look, we might as well let this side balance with this side. It is 2 extra pipes. So, go away. Each of these blocks are now balanced. I went and put down all the inserters and all the requesters. And I'll show you. These are locked off. So if there is less than 500 heavy oil barrels in the network, this inserter will put empty barrels into this machine, which will obviously pump out full heavy oil barrels. Same goes for petroleum. So if there's less than 500 petroleum, alright, inserter inserts, blah blah blah, real petroleum comes out. And light oil, which is all the way around the back. Same story. Now, these are all going into active providers. Because I don't need... passive providers, rather. Because I don't need active providers. I don't need the bots to drag it and put it in storage. It should work. It won't balance. I know it won't balance. I know that we're going to have, for argument's sake, more draw of petroleum on one side and light oil on the other, than light oil on the other. So these petroleum barrels will be empty, and these light oil barrels will be empty, and the bots will have to, fly over here to get light petroleum, and the light oil bots will have to fly over here to get light oil. It'll just happen, alright? There's nothing I can do about it. Really isn't. Short of putting everything into storage, being for both this block, and then sorting out from there. But it still means, for argument's sake, these bots that are coming all the way over here to get petroleum, if I put all the storage here, they're still coming all the way over. It really doesn't change anything. If anything, it means that rather than picking up a barrel from here and taking it straight to where it needs to go, there is a chance they'll have to pick it up, put it in storage, then a different bot pick it back up and take it where it has to go. So, yeah, we're just going to use active providers. The system's set to lock off. Hope for the best. As always, we can tweak stuff later. Now, it took a while to get all the RoboPorts in place because I wanted nice straight edges. I really wanted straight edges so we could fit in our different little pieces as neatly as possible, and that's the key, as neat. I know it's going to be less than perfect, but who cares? We're just trying to go for neat. So now we play the Tetris game. And I'd like to say we're going to get this done in an episode. I honestly think it's going to take 2 or 3, but we'll see. Oh, we've got coal right there. Well, we need to somehow get the coal bunker right here, because that would be convenient. 8 million coal with 500 extra percent is 40 million coal. Yeah, that'll do us for a while. So, these are all blueprinted. Where have I put my blueprint book? There we go. So, they're all blueprinted. The plan is to just destroy the old builds, basically, and then plop them down as best as we can. Lube. So, lube requests in heavy oil. And the plan is to try and fit it in as close as possible. Alright, let's plop you right there for just this second. Yep, that'll give me enough clearance. And train line hooked in. Yeah, I'm not worrying about exit lines at the moment. Really not worrying about exit lines. Those power poles are in my way. And that's how we brought power in. So, yeah, let's fix this whilst we're here. Really? Really? Shish. Yeah, not worried about exit lines. The exit lines, we can make the trains travel. You know, he can go, for argument's sake, from here all the way around and onto an exit track if needs be. It really doesn't matter. Okay, next thing we want is heavy cracking. Now you can see this build is bigger than its RoboPort network. And that's one of the things I've tried to do. I've tried to make sure the RoboPort network itself is as small as possible. Because we can easily, dead set easily, just make more, you know, have builds go over and over the size of the Robo network. But we can't. That's as small as we get. So yeah, we can have builds go bigger than the Robo network, but we can't squish things any closer than the size of the Robo network, if that makes sense. I don't know whether I'm actually making sense or not. But I need to actually come over here and rip you up. Oh, I dumped my landfill, my water fill. Big power pole. I thought I removed all the big power poles from my builds, but obviously I didn't. One substation. Done! So that's heavy oil. Now, of course, where are we? We're going straight to here. So what? And then we want... No, other way around. Storage, active. So we need a stack inserter in here and in here. This is a Roboport bridge. I'm pretty sure we've been through it before, but if not, the idea is we're requesting 100 heavy oil. And we need a large power pole, or we just steal a substation. Really? Really? Okay, we'll do it that way then. So the idea is we bring in heavy oil, we lock you to A row. A row's 100. There should be heaps. I'd like to give you robots. Can I request some robots, please? Just 50 should do me. Done. So the idea is, yes, we request in heavy oil. It gets put from that network into that network. The bots then pick it up and put it in this chest, which is technically 1 square longer, but who cares? So yeah, they pick it up, they pop it in here. The machine uses it. Out comes the empty barrel, which then goes back into storage and ends up back in the main network. We have the main network deal with all that stuff. Can I get the Roboport any closer? No. Okay. Because ideally, it should be there. Can I do that? Can I plop it right there? Alright, you bugger off. Can I pop it right there? Because that's about as direct path as we can get. Let's go back to there and let's do a heavy oil build. Because that's just convenient. The less distance the bots have to travel, the better. Fine, let's put you there and put a heavy power pole right there. Okay, so that's that one done. Again. Same story. We need a bot bridge for heavy in, light out. So we request heavy. Oh, that was wrong. Let's copy that. We want 100 again. We want a stack inserter. We want an active provider. We want to limit you to a stack. Well, actually, we should really check to see how much we're going to use per second. Per second, we use 1350. What's that? Well, actually, let's eliminate bot travel. Make you a steel chest. Well, there you go. That fixes that problem. So now this bot network is shoving 100 barrels in at a time, which, let's even improve that better. There we go. This bot network is now feeding this machine. Can I do the same on the return? Actually, why am I having these two separate networks? Why am I having lube as a separate network? And I'm trying to shrink down the networks. But these aren't big builds at all. Okay, let's destroy that. Let's destroy that again. Lube. I gotta turn the train around. Alright. Let's do that. That's as far forward as you can go. Boom, built. Okay. We don't need that roboport anymore because you're actually inside the network. We can extend you out much further. We can then double inserter on there, which does heavy oil unbarrel. Yes, we still need to request them in, and we need to put them out. Oops. I'm setting it to 50 shipping heaps. I was going to go with 100, but let's go with 50. Okay, so that's lube done. Oh, one more square. No. It's alright, give me my marker, that's all I need. That's lube done. Oh. Bugger, that's not lube done. Lube needs a longer train. It needs a 2. Yeah, I didn't update this. I decided after the fact that I was going to upgrade all the trains to a 2 system. You can go... Okay, that's what we'll do. Yeah, I'm going to upgrade all the... As I said earlier, I'm going to upgrade all the trains to a 212. Straight pipe. That's sort of an imported power pole. Yeah, 212. Oh, that's out of... it didn't line up. Actually, let's dump that back down. Yeah, let's line the train station up with the tanks. That seems like a more logical idea than trying to line the build up with the train line. Okay. So that's lube done. Let's go back to that. Let's do heavy cracking. Now essentially, it's only the 2 assemblers on the far left that have to be inside the network. So let's put you there. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. Oh. Okay, so you need an output. Or is it that you need a circuit condition? You need a circuit condition. So you have if you're less than 500. You have if less than 400. Because I never want the refineries to turn off. And cracking's just to support. So, if there's 500 light oil barrels, refineries will turn off. If there's 400 light barrels in the network, heavy to light cracking will turn off. We can still feed heavy barrels in, but the whole lot will back up. So that's 2 builds down. Yeah, pick up those pieces, transplant them over there. Boom. Great. Batteries. Acid. Acid has petroleum in, and then it is a rail system. And it also has to go to batteries, which I didn't ever work out. Alright. What do I got over here in this acid build? This acid build has heaps of nuclear processing. And the only reason we have nuclear processing here is because of the mining. But I can't see us doing any more mining anytime soon. I think we are pretty much all mined out. Yeah, considering every single chest is completely backed up. Yeah, I think we are absolutely done with mining. And nuclear. We're done with a few things. Okay, so let's assume, at least for this point, we're not going to have any more... okay, let's place this first. Now I gotta go rip up the old one. Wait, come here, deconstruction planner. Where's the old one? There's the old one. Yes, I just wasted more acid, but you know. Generally, for whatever's in a tank, we're probably talking half a quarter of a millisecond worth of production. Who cares? No, I dumped my landfill. Okay. Build this, boys. Okay, let's take a power bolt and hook this up. Alright, how much petroleum do you use per minute? Per second. That's a lot. That is 6 barrels a second. But then you... Oh, and you need iron. See, I thought about getting these two close to one another. And then I could bridge the iron across and probably train the acid. Let's zoom out. How much acid do you say you use? Nope. Let's try again. That one. You use 5 barrels per second. So we've got 6 barrels into here, and then 5 barrels into here. Plus you'll use, what, 110 plate total a second. And if I bring, okay, let's try getting our brains around this. Okay, so I updated the batteries to have 2 rail lines, thinking, you know, we need to unload copper and iron. Forgetting that I also need to pick up the batteries to take them out. So the new plan... Let's just pretend we put that down there for a second. The new plan is if I get a rail line to straddle the join, like so, and this be the iron train, I could output iron on both sides, turn this into the battery pickup train, which means we need more lanes out of here away from this T intersection. Which could mean I'm going to end up picking up this whole thing after we finish playing Tetris and slide it along, which is going to be a nightmare. Because we're building closer and closer to this entrance. Accidentally. Really good question. Well, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to have a think. I'm going to have a think. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to have a think about it. By all means, guys, if you've got a really great idea that you're seeing and I'm just not, by all means, leave something in the comments for me. Like I said, this is going to be 2 or 3 episodes long, maybe more if we keep getting more headaches like this. Because we have an acid train literally... It'd cross, but he's running so seldom it wouldn't matter. Well, let's keep building. We could have it unload there. Oh. Yeah. Ignore that fucker. We could do that. Have the main acid trains come in for blue circuits and fill up normally. And just make a very, very small loop here. Yep, that's entirely possible. Alright, well look, I'm going to have a think and see what I come up with. By all means, leave something in the comments if you've got a better idea. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Alright, bye.